So in the previous video I covered piphunter speed scalper, and in this one we're going to cover LMI. LMI is probably one of the more popular and most popularized indicators from the piphunter package, and I'm going to show you different ways of using it. So as you can see, I've just loaded it straight onto the chart, and you can see that we have it set up so it looks very much like a TDI, and that was very much purposeful because I wanted people to have some sort of familiarity about it. So I set it up with the central line and the two ribbons. If we go and adjust it, we can modify how aggressively the ribbon tries to follow the line. If you feel like you are someone who wants to trade like shark out of water, if you're used to TDI where you're looking for the breakouts of the green or the yellow line, which some people will, because shark out of water is a relatively common way to trade with it. So you've got a couple functions here. The first function is when the line is green or red, and that just determines whether you are above or below the base white line. You also have shark out of water if that's something you're interested to. And then the most hidden function is where you have to change this to an area, and then I'm just going to remove these plots for some ease of visibility, is when you are above or below the zero. How do you determine whether you're above or below zero? That is when you're below zero, you're going to get this at perfectly flat, and when you're above zero, this is going to be perfectly flat. So you can see that we've always got this zero line, and you're either sticking above it like this or sticking below it like this. And this is how you can determine long-term bearish versus long-term bullish, but also with your short-term colors. So when you are long-term bearish, but you have a short-term bullish scenario, you'll see that we're on the bearish side as we're below zero, but we've got some green. And then if we're in long-term bullish, but we have a small bearish trend, then you'll see a little bit of red on your long-term bearish side. Now there are, again, alerts for lots of these indicators, and I'm going to quickly cover this one now. So there is 8 alerts on this one. You have your shark out of waters and shark closing, which I will explain now. Let me just set this back to default. So a shark out of water is when it breaks out like this candle right here, and then a shark back closing or shark ended would be like here where it breaks back within, and again here would be shark out of water, here would be shark back in. The other ones you've got are long term, which again is the zero line crossing, and then the short term, which is your red to green color flip. With most of the piphunter indicators, it is always important to set your alerts to once per bar close, just so that you don't get repainted and stopped out from a repaint. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you all in the next one.